I should start by saying, I didn't want this house. I wasn't looking for it. But when you're broke, you don't ask too many questions. The place sat at the end of a quiet street. Too quiet, the kind of silence that feels rehearsed. It leaned slightly to one side, like the weight of all its years was dragging it down. The agent barely looked at me when he handed over the keys. He just said one thing, low enough that I almost thought I imagined it.
The house remembers voices.
I laughed it off at the time. I shouldn't have. That first night, I unpacked in silence. The air was heavy, thicker than it should have been. I spoke without thinking, just a mutter. Good night. And then, from the wall beside my bed, soft as breath. Good night. At first I told myself it was an echo. Old pipes maybe. Houses creak. Houses settle. But the more I listened, the less it sounded like me. It was slower, wetter somehow, like words spoken through damp wood. The second night, I whispered, I'm tired. And the reply came back instantly. Then sleep forever. I froze. The voice was deeper. Not mine. By the third night, I tried an experiment. I whispered, Who are you? The house whispered back, Who are you? But it wasn't a question. It was a challenge. Like it already knew. I bought a recorder. If I was losing my mind, I wanted proof. I set it on the floor by the bed and hit record. The night was endless. I barely slept. Every tick of the clock felt dragged through mud. The walls breathed. I swear they did. In the morning, I pressed play. At first, it was only me. My shifting in the sheets, a cough, the restless turning of a man who does not feel safe. Then, at 3:12 a.m., something new. A voice, thick, gravelled, speaking my name, my full name. And then, in a tone that was not advice but command.
Leave before sunrise.
My skin prickled cold. I dug through the house's records, old news clippings, anything. The last 3 families who lived here, all gone. Not moved, not sold, just gone. And now the house knew my name. I tried to leave. God knows I tried. But the moment my hand touched the door handle, it slammed shut with such force it rattled the glass. Every window had sealed itself. Paint and wood fused, as if they had never been opened. And then the voices began. Not whispers this time, screams. Dozens of them, overlapping, desperate, furious. Shadows spread across the wallpaper, twisting upward, forming shapes that looked almost human. Faces pressed outward, straining the plaster like it was thin skin, mouths opening wide in silent howls. And then one of them wasn't silent. A woman's voice, jagged, broken, hissed from the wall.
We listened. Now you stay.
The wallpaper bulged, and from the corner, a black, glistening hand forced its way through, grasping blindly for me. I panicked. I swung wildly with the hammer, tearing through plaster, desperate to break free. And that's when I saw what the house really was. The shadows, the faces, the hand. They weren't ghosts. They were just masks, just tricks. The truth was underneath. The walls split open, and inside there were mouths, dozens, carved into the wood and stone itself. Wet, raw mouths lined the beams, chattering and gnashing. They whispered fragments of every word I had ever spoken here. And worse, voices that weren't mine. Pleas, cries, screams, all trapped, replayed forever. The house wasn't haunted. It was alive, and it fed on us. I dropped the hammer. The walls pulsed like lungs around me. And in that moment, I understood. The house doesn't just remember voices. It keeps them. It eats them. And now, It has mine.
Our voyage has reached its end, yet the sea still whispers of shadows unseen. Remember, sailor, every ending is but the beginning of another tale. We shall meet again.